Hey, okay, I'll get started. Hey, it's Three Guys Pickin, right? Oh. Sorry. I'm doing percussion. What are you doing?
We're wasting time.
CC, pick up that guitar and talk to me! Here's a solo, man.
I don't do solos.
Welcome back to Three Guys Pickin, the most electrifying cable access show in Chicago.
And also the world.
As always, I am your awesome, colossal, kick-ass host, Brodie. And with me is my lovable yet portly sidekick, Tyler. Hey, buddy. And not with us is Dave the Extra. So we have a very special show here for you today. We have
from the band Poison, lead guitarist, CC DeVille.
CC DeVille, one of the really most shreddingest guitars to come out of the 90s music scene, in my opinion. The guy can play the freaking axe.
And just a really nice guy too. You know, I think Poison gets a bad rap because they're a hair band.
What's a hair?
Anyway,
everybody's got hair. Except for that live. I don't love you, I don't have you. That guy was bald.
Actually, it sounds like Eddie Bedwetter, except without hair.
Oh, the Cubs are going all the way. Cubs. When did Eddie Vedder become like a Chicago guy? Isn't he from freaking Seattle?
Well, it's kind of like, Hillary Clinton, spent 6 months here and it's her home until there was somewhere else to be.
Can we get back to CC, because he's a pretty cool dude.
Alright, CC DeVille, Poison, great guy, great interview.
Like, honestly, it's very rare that when you meet, these celebrities or musicians or whoever they are, that they come away and not only do you like them, usually we like them because, we're nice, they're nice, and everything's nice, but like, you come away from meeting CC DeVille and speaking with him and just really have just an endearment towards him. Because he's a neat little guy, man. I like that guy. I really do. And I even had that feeling prior to meeting him when I watched him on Surreal Life. Because it was like, oh, he's a cool little cat.
Why don't we let the crowd kind of check that out so you don't give the whole show away in the beginning, jackass?
I thought we were supposed to do that.
No. It's called a tease.
That's what you told me to do.
It's called a tease.
We don't do
teases.
teases
What girls
here.
do.
They tease.
Yes. Anyway, CC DeVille from Poison, check it out.
Hey, Three Guys Pickin has an awesome guest for you today. We have virtuoso guitarist from the heavy metal band Poison. Today we have with us CC DeVille. CC, welcome to Three Guys Pickin.
How are you guys?
We're good. How are you today?
It's very interesting. Very odd to actually hear the word virtuoso in the same sentence as Poison. This is very humorous.
Well, in one sense of the word, though, it is true. I mean, because one of the things Poison is known for is a Poison sound, which is something that comes out of your guitar, and that's something that you guys have had your whole career. So
yeah. Well, thank you. That's very nice.
No problem at all. And that's one thing we kind of want to talk about first was when you guys did your Behind the Music on VH1.
Right.
You even mentioned that you're like, I'm learning to play all these songs by other bands, and it sounds like me.
Right.
But once you did that, did you just kind of take off of that and be like, if I'm going to sound like me?
Well, what happened was there is the humorous take on it, but the thing was I wanted to I had a knack to write ideas. I had a knack to write, I guess you'd call it hooks. I didn't know what they were called then, but like I liked melody. So I always had this knack to be able to put a melody in, and but I also loved fast guitar players. So early on, didn't seem to be a conflict. But as I played more, and as the music scene was the way it was, there was a certain conflict between me being able to play. For lack of a better word, I don't want to say show off, but have more of a guitar like noodling type thing was going to get in the way of what pop music was. So it was difficult for me to still write what would, I guess you'd call a hit song or something that you'd hear a song and go, ooh, I like that song. Not to say that, oh gee, I want to write a song that's easily digestible, but a well-written song is usually something that will be on the radio. It's a craft to write a hit song. I'm not talking about just putting together obvious chords and then having an obvious silly melody, but the reason why hit songwriters are in demand is because if it was easy, everyone would do it. So I had this thing where, well, I still wanted to show off my, sort of my guitar playing, and the hit song isn't really conducive to individual noodling or something like that. So I was at odds between when do I show off my playing here and it's within the context of a pop song. So early on, I made a decision to go with the song, with my song craft and working on that, and try to put in my solos and try to work on solos that were still good but melodic. And so that was a conscious decision that I made. And I still try to put in some of the guitar things. So sometimes what happens is you set up a situation where you got to be careful what you ask for because you might get it, because then you become very good at being a pop band, and then people only listen to you with pop ear sensibility. So here I am doing a pop song, and all of a sudden if I throw in a great solo, it doesn't register. It's like, oh no, I can't be CC. But I think that's also the good thing about the way that you did that in the beginning.
Yeah. You wrote the songs, and now 15, 20 years later, while you're touring and playing the songs again,
I sneak in.
Things up.
It's become now that I've gotten it. Yes, once again, God, wisdom has seen to it that okay. It's not cut and dry as we would like to think as young people. We want to think that it's only this way or only that way. As we get older, as our youth leaves us, thank God, wisdom comes in
Hopefully.
I don't know.
No, I know, but as we get older and we lose dexterity, as our skin starts to sag, as we trade off youth, we do get a little bit of wisdom. And so I'm able to do the hit songs and have a great sense of accomplishment out there with the band, and looking at the band and say, you know, we created something great, and have a great, and then also I don't have to stick to certain solos. I have a leisure now after 20 years of doing this. Well, like, I'm gonna soup this up. I'm gonna do something here, and then the band's always been good with me, letting me do my guitar solo and stuff like that. So in the end, I think it was a good move. You know, I would, you know, because as a result of that, I've gotten to become CC DeVille as this character, which sometimes I've loved and sometimes I've hated. You know, so you know, as long as CC shows up at the show, whether I'm playing more of a disciplined, of the old style, or if sometimes I feel like really going off and doing some solos, as long as CC shows up, which is that personality and that engaging and that, hey, I'm flawed, but I love you, and I know you guys love me, then I think the audience really gets it, you know, because the audience has been on a journey with me, with my ups and downs. I've been always open about my mistakes, my drinking, my other, you know, so it's like, you know, when my problems become public, the only good comes is from when I can say, okay, listen, I made this mistake. You guys, some of you young kids that might be looking to me or people like me, just remember this could happen to you. So a mistake I made could be a mistake, but it could have a positive benefit if I go, listen, and I also spent the night in jail more than I care to talk about, and it isn't, you know, so it becomes something negative can become a positive if someone can learn from it, if someone can learn from my mistake. And Poison fans, and really music fans in particular, have given me the benefit of the doubt many, many, many times. And I think they know that you know, I struggle. I struggle every day to be better. And sometimes I do make mistakes. But I struggle. I struggle to be a better person.
Well, and ride the wind, never come back again to the midnight sky.
Yeah, that's the only part.
Was that it?
That was it. That's the only part I know. And we're back. We're in the midst, middle, and/or near the end of our CC DeVille from Poison interview.
Yeah. You know what? What do you think so far?
Well, one thing that, you know, I want to bring up that you really didn't see on camera is before the interview, you know, CC didn't really know who we were.
Yeah, you'd never met us before.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And
you walk into a room when you're a guitar hero and you run into, you know, 6'1" strapping blonde like myself. It's gonna be like, what the hell's going on?
And we're like, yeah, we're a comedy show, or at least we're attempted comedy.
I don't know.
And so he was like, yeah, I'm not in a funny mood. So he was kind of a little apprehensive.
He's like, oh, I don't get it. I'm not in a funny mood.
Yeah, you know, maybe he's thinking that we're gonna sandbag him or something, but you know, we don't do that here.
I don't do that. I only interview people I like. Did I just say interview?
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
I probably did.
Anyways, but the cool thing was, it's like he was a little apprehensive just because he didn't know us, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But by the end of the interview, it's like
I'm apprehensive, and I do know him. Come on.
Anyway, so the point was, it's like by the end of the interview, you know, he saw that we are.
He was telling jokes. He's laughing. You know, and I'll tell you what, this was a really good interview. I mean, I say that a lot about my interviews, that they're good interviews, because they really are. I gotta be honest. I give good interviews, but, you know, this is one, too, where, like, it was not only good because of me, but like CC just, he went with it. You know, I asked him like one question, and then like 8 minutes later, I asked my second question, and I mean this in the bestest way. Like he answered the question, and he gave more than what was asked for or expected, and it was all from the heart. It's what he wanted to do, and he really just jumped in, man. It was pretty cool, man.
So check it out.
And I think the good thing about that like you said, you're open about that, and you're saying, I'm struggling to be a better person, which really everybody is. Too.
Right, right.
And you are honest and open about it. For example, your stint on The Surreal Life.
Right.
You were you, at least as far as I could tell.
Yeah,
you know, and
I was just out of rehab, and well, thank God I'm coming up on 3 years sober.
Yeah,
and you know, and that, you know, that's really, you know, it's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not just being sober, it's living life and learning how to live life and learning how to deal with other people, and letting go of, oh, it's about me. It isn't. It isn't. We can't live life with all of us thinking it's about us. The first step is to say, okay, what is your point of view, and really listen. See, in music and in rock and roll bands, if you have a little bit of fame, the fame almost takes away growth, because you can get away with being sort of a bully. You can go, well, listen, this is my way, it's my show, and if someone voices their opinion that's contrary to yours, you can fire them. Yeah. You know, so I think in years past that's happened, and the accountability is as I get older is more important now. They say, well, wait a minute, what? Maybe I'm missing something. Just because I'm in this position, I don't ever want the fact that I've been blessed to be in a good position, whether it's worldly things like being famous or being popular. You don't want that to actually cloud reality. And someone might have something interesting to say or important to you to say, and because they are perceived as not as successful, that you don't listen. Because I think everyone that has life skills, who has gone through life, has something to say, whether they're famous in that aspect or not. You know, before I had a child, you know, there's a lot of things I thought I knew. And after I have my child, you realize there's a lot of things that you don't know. Like just, you know, before I had Valen, before I had my son, if there was a baby crying on a plane, I would be like, I would be like, why would you have this child crying on a plane with everyone else on the plane? Then I had Valen, and then my son was crying on the plane, and then I realized I don't want my son crying on the plane either. It's not a picnic for anyone.
Somebody else is thinking.
Right. So now, when I'm on a plane and wherever I was flying, and I see a baby crying, I always make contact with the parent, whether it's the mother or the father. I'm always like, is there anything I can do to help? I know this. I know this isn't comfortable for you, you know. Is there, you know, you're not bothering me. So there's a little tiny lesson of how we try to look at other people's shoes, and hopefully we grow. You know, I have a very good spiritual thing going. You know, I really do have this connection with God that has really helped me quite a bit. So you know, life is good today. You know, I mean, you know, so.
I won't forget you, baby, no matter what you say. if you believe that, you can be on your way. I've always wondered, is that song like, is that like sincere, or is it almost like, I won't forget you? Because I forgot like a couple girls already from like today.
Gee, maybe we should have asked him that.
We didn't talk to Brett this time. We've talked to Brett before.
CC.
Yeah, but you know,
Fucking touch him with good
what
guitar.
are you gonna do about it?
Mm,
You gonna punch my hand? You're gonna punch my hand.
Yeah.
Did you hurt your hand? Punching my
No.
bicep like that? CC DeVille, guitarist from Poison. You know what? I mean, just he's down to earth. He's obviously gone through some rough times in his life. You know, being part of one of the biggest bands in the world. You know, you get caught up in the rock and roll lifestyle, the sex, the drugs, the women. I guess that's the sex, but the drugs, the alcohol, and you know, the just shit happens. And you know, he put his life back together a little bit. He got into rehab, got out, started a new part of his life, his real life, more music, and back on the road with Poison again. He's got family, he's got a kid, you know, and just from what I hear, that changes people, man. I wouldn't know, because I think I don't know. If I had a kid. Didn't change me.
Anyway, why don't we get back to our interview with CC DeVille? Cool guy, good band. Chickadoo.
I think that's also just the genre itself, like you said. It's you're out there, it's energy, it's having fun, it's you know, coming to a concert and just being
It is
yourself,
great.
as opposed to, you know, some of the music that I guess knocked off heavy metal, where, you know.
Well, it's all good. The pendulum
it's all
swings.
good, yeah.
The pendulum has to swing.
It's so much
You know-
better when you can tell that the artist's having fun instead of, I hate being here.
Well, exactly. Well, but that again, that usually has to do with the artist.
Sure.
That has nothing to do with the music. And I think any type of oversaturation is good. In other words, in the end, the people decide what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. You know, and I think that there is an ebb and a flow. We have too much of one style of music, well then something has to go. People want choice. And then the pendulum swings and then you have another style of music. But I think what we, I think, tapped into a lot, and I often say this, is that maybe it's not necessarily that our songs are so magical, but people's lives are magical. So whatever song was on the radio when they were going through their magical times, first kiss, first car, first apartment, college, getting into college, first breakup, heartbreak. If my songs were on the radio when that was happening, then when you hear my songs, you go back to that time, and it's a wonderful trip back. So it might not be that Every Rose or Nothing But a Good Time is Mozart, but you better know that that triggers a memory that is magical, because I remember my first car and it was great, and I remember my first crush and my first girlfriend and the soundtrack of that stuff, you know. I mean, when I listen to Boston, I'm like, how come no one likes me? I go right back to junior high. I'm in an awkward thing, and it's like, you know, and I'm just listening to like More Than the Feeling. I'll hear it now, and I'll be like, yeah, I remember. And it's still it's to go back, and you know, because you know deep down that you're just going through a phase, and things will, you know, and so yeah, so I think that's what it has a lot to do with.
We both lie silently dead in the sterling night. Both lie close together. We feel miles apart. something I did that my words not come out right. Oh, I tried not to hurt you. Oh, I tried, but I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just like
horrible.
every night has its down.
You wanna? We're on here.
Yeah, Three Guys Pickin'. We got an awesome show for you. I was just doing a little poison for you there.
Actually, I think we're near the end of the show.
Oh, we are?
Yes. Jackass.
Yeah, CC DeVille, awesome guy. And we gotta make sure we thank Larry.
Tour manager
Larry from Chicago, who actually has seen our show and was
he
like,
still talked to us.
you know, you guys should be on the show. It's pretty good. We're like, what? Yeah. Well, thanks, man.
Wait, you saw our show? Are you sure it was alright? And you still want to talk to us?
Who knows? So that was pretty cool. So we need to give a big thank you to Larry. Huge thank you to CC DeVille for taking the time. And you know, I think he liked this. It seemed pretty cool. He's actually, I think, was he the first person to ever like request a shirt before we had the presentation? I mean, we've had people be like, hey, you got this in, you know, black. You got this in red. You got this in opaque blue. You got this in a medium. You got this in a tank top. You know, everybody usually asks us for a different version of what we gave them. Cece's just like, oh man, can I get a shirt? And we're like, dude.
Before we even offered, that
So
was pretty
cool.
sweet.
So made me feel good. And I hope he likes the shirt. Hope you like the shirt, Cece. You're watching.
Alrighty, well, let's check out the last of the interview.
See ya.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Isn't Three Guys Pickin' the greatest show ever?
I'm starting to think that it is. You guys, so far, you've been very fair to me, and I'd like a shirt.
You know what? I might have one for you.
Will you?
Yeah. We'll get Camera Boy out here.
Thanks.
You want black? You want
Black,
white?
always
You want
black is always great.
blue? You want a long sleeve?
Yeah, yes. I'll have a. Is it what sizes do you have?
That one might be a large.
Okay. These are great.
Does that tickle your fancy?
It sure does. This is a large. This will be fine. You know why? I'll tell you why. Larry Moran, who's our tour manager, who is our connection here, who's a Chicago, I believe, native.
Yep.
Rides on my bus, and he has become like the ice king. So he puts the bus on at like 50 degrees. And I'm even though it's summertime, it's freezing on the bus, you know. And he likes it really, really cold. And I don't like to keep so the long sleeves. I mean, you know. So
We know you don't get to see Brett on TV very much, so we have a copy of the interview we did with him.
oh,
And we also did Tesla a couple years ago. They're good friends of ours.
you know, I just saw Tesla last night. We played together. It was great. It was great to see them. They were good. They were really good.
They brought me on stage to play guitar with them, so that's on there.
Oh, really? Oh, I can't wait.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah. Look
It's
at
kind of our way of saying thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time.
So.
Thanks. I hope you can use it.
I'm sure we will.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.